Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. UFC 266 is this Saturday. There's a bunch of great fights on the card. I've already done a bunch of prediction videos for UFC 266. I will throw the links in the description for those if you want to check them out after this video. But this video is going to be my full breakdown and prediction of Valentina Shevchenko versus Lauren Murphy. And, say what you will about this co-main event. It's not the most highly anticipated fight on the card. It's not even the second most highly anticipated fight on the card. But as a Valentina Shevchenko fan, I am always excited to see her go out and perform. She puts on dominant performance after dominant performance, and she could easily be considered the best women's MMA fighter right now. Even though the level of competition she's fighting isn't that great, she is an elite fighter. The argument would be between Valentina or Amanda Nunes. It's either one of those two. And I know they fought twice, and Amanda Nunes won twice, but those fights were razor thin. So let's look at Shevchenko's opponent, Lauren Murphy. She's coming in on a 5-fight win streak. But if you look at those names on the 5-fight win streak, it leaves a lot to be desired. Andrea Lee, Roxanne Modafferi, and the fight that she won to get the title shot against Shevchenko was against Joanne Calderwood back in June of this year at UFC 263. And she won this fight by split decision, and a lot of people thought that Joanne Calderwood won this fight. And, I don't really, have an opinion about that one way or another because honestly, even if Lauren Murphy did win this fight, I'm not that high on Joanna Calderwood. I don't think she's that great. I don't think she could ever compete for a title or beat Valentina Shevchenko. So whether she won or lost that fight, she's now fighting Valentina Shevchenko. Whether you think she deserves it or not, the division is lackluster, and there just has to be somebody to fight Valentina Shevchenko. She has to defend the belt. And if you look back at June of 2018, Murphy has a loss to Sijara Eubanks, and that's not the greatest look on your record. I mean, Sijara Eubanks is by no means an elite fighter, and she has a loss to her, be it by decision. And if you look at Lauren Murphy's skill set, she's kind of well-rounded. She has decent striking. She has decent grappling. But, it's decent. It's not great. It's not anything, you would say, oh, she's really great at this. One thing I would say about her, but again, the level of competition that she's fought, is she's very durable. She's never lost by stoppage. All 4 of her losses in MMA have come by decision. So she's durable. Maybe she can absorb some damage. This is going to be a 5-round title fight. So I'm curious how, if she can survive in this fight. She looks very durable. And one notable thing that I did notice when I was looking over this fight, and I had no idea, Lauren Murphy is 38 years old. So it's now or never for her. If she doesn't win the title now, she's never getting another shot. She's 38 years old. How many years left does she have in MMA? Especially, to work her way back to a shot against Valentina Shevchenko. I guess it's possible because the division is thin, but I just don't see that happening. So she has to win this fight. And Valentina Shevchenko is only 33 years old, so she's 5 years younger, and she has so much more experience. And Valentina Shevchenko, she comes into this fight after a win over Jessica Andrade back at UFC 261 in April. And this was a very quality win. Jessica Andrade, even though she majority fought at strawweight, she's a former strawweight champion. She beat Rose Namajunas, and she would have beat Rose Namajunas a second time if that second fight would have been 5 rounds. The tide was turning in that 3rd round. And she went out there and she dominated Jessica Andrade. She dealt with the power. She was able to throw her down, hold her down, ground and pound her. Eventually, she put her in the crucifix and just gave her some brutal elbows. And eventually, the referee stopped at TKO 2nd round. And Valentina Shevchenko, throughout her UFC career, has been an absolute killer. Again, in the flyweight run, she's not fought the greatest level of competition, but still, with the level of competition she's fighting, she's showing their level. She is just dominating them. The only fight she even had a little bit of trouble with was Jennifer Maia, but still, she pretty much dominated that fight, won a unanimous decision. Before that, she fought Chukagi and she TKO'd her. Before that, she beat Liz Carmouche. Before that, she KO'd Jessica Ai. Before that, she beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk, which is a quality win. And even the Amanda Nunes fights, Amanda Nunes is widely considered the pound-for-pound greatest of all-time women's fighter. I think it's very debatable between her and Valentina. But in those 2 fights, they were razor close. They could have went either way. There's some people that think Valentina Shevchenko won them both. There's some people that think Amanda Nunes won them both. On paper, Nunes won them both. But either way, the fact that she's competing with them, it just shows her skill level. And she has a win over Juliana Pena. She has a submission win. Juliana Pena is currently fighting for the bantamweight title in December, I believe it is. She has a win over Holly Holm. Holly Holm is still, an elite bantamweight women's fighter, occasionally fights at featherweight. She has great quality wins throughout her career. And Valentina Shevchenko just has great jiu-jitsu. She has great submission skills. She has good wrestling. She has amazing striking. She has head kicks. She throws great leg kicks. She has great hands. There's literally nowhere you can't compliment Valentina Shevchenko. She has great distance management. She has a great jab. Just everything you can say about her. She's pulling off submissions. She's controlling a big, strong girl like Jessica Andrade. And I know Andrade came up a weight class, so she was a little bit undersized against Valentina. But Jessica Andrade showed in that fight she was still very, very strong. She won some clinch battles. But for Valentina just be able to throw her to the ground and basically just maul her on the ground, that just goes to show how good she is. And now she's fighting Lauren Murphy. And my prediction for this fight, I honestly believe we'll probably see a first round TKO. I think Valentina will probably be able to take Lauren Murphy down, dominate her on the ground, and eventually, probably finish her with strikes. She may even submit her, honestly. I'm going to change my prediction for this fight. I'm going to say first round submission via Valentina Shevchenko. She's going to retain her title. She's going to take Lauren Murphy down and submit her. Lauren Murphy's kind of just bulldozing ahead. She's kind of sloppy on the feet. She may get dropped and then submit it. But no matter what, no matter how the fight ends, I don't like to get, too crazy about, very crazy specifics. But Valentina Shevchenko will dominate this fight. She's just better everywhere. Jiu-jitsu, wrestling, striking, everything, clinch, everything. There's no way Lauren Murphy can, compete with Valentina Shevchenko. I think this is going to be an absolute slaughter. And to be honest, I just wish there was a higher level of competition for the women's flyweight belt because I don't know who's going to be fighting next. Honestly, I don't know who's next in line to fight Valentina Shevchenko. And if Lauren Murphy gets destroyed, I love watching Valentina perform, but it gets a kind of old, seeing a champion just beat up people that you feel like don't belong in the cage with her. And if it was up to me, honestly, what I would be booking next, if Amanda Nunes beats Juliana Pena in their fight in December, Valentina beats Lauren Murphy, I want to see Valentina Shevchenko versus Amanda Nunes 3. That is the fight I want. That's the fight, I've been asking for quite a while. It seems like neither of them won it, honestly, which is just crazy to me because we could settle it once and for all who is the best women's MMA fighter of all time. And I think it would actually draw some people in, like Lauren Murphy versus Valentina Shevchenko is drawing absolutely no pay-per-view buys. It's a decent fight for hardcores to watch Valentina Shevchenko put on a performance. But other than that, how many pay-per-view buys is that honestly drawing in? Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler 2, when Nick Diaz hasn't fought in 6 years, is drawing in more eyeballs than Valentina Shevchenko versus Lauren Murphy. And we've seen this before. When we have a dominant champion and we bring along somebody that can actually beat her, the hype for it is absolutely unreal. And that's what I want to see. I want to see a real challenge for Valentina Shevchenko. And to be honest, I want to see a real challenge for Amanda Nunes. So I hope they book that fight next if both of them win. But just in this fight, I really don't see a way that Lauren Murphy can pull it off. I mean, I just really believe Valentina Shevchenko has the power advantage, the stamina advantage, everything you can even list, clinch, everything. Valentina Shevchenko has the advantage in this fight. Lauren Murphy stands absolutely no chance, in my opinion. And if somehow Lauren Murphy shocks the world, I'll eat my words. That's it. Because I just don't see it. You look at her past fights, the Joanne Calderwood fight, she didn't look particularly good. And Joanne Calderwood, for as much hype as she gets, she is no world beater. She's not even close to the skill level of Valentina Shevchenko. The UFC is just taking girls who are on kind of win streaks and just feeding them to Valentina Shevchenko for her to just destroy and just continue growing her legacy. And at this point, it is what it is. Valentina Shevchenko is going to continue to be a dominant champion. I don't see anyone within the women's flyweight division right now defeating her. And even if you want to look at the division below her, you got Rose Namajunas, you got Weili Zhang. I don't see either one of them moving up and beating Valentina Shevchenko. Even if they did move up, they are not beating her. It's just not happening at all. So I really don't know. There's no other fight to book. Please, UFC, give me Valentina Shevchenko versus Amanda Nunes 3 because I just can't see any. I don't know how many more Lauren Murphys I can see get destroyed by Valentina Shevchenko. It's just a perpetual cycle. So if there's anybody watching this video right now who thinks Lauren Murphy is going to win this fight, you better comment down below or it never happened. I don't want to hear it after the fight. I picked Lauren Murphy if she somehow pulls off a miracle. But guys, let me know. Am I wrong? Am I being over dramatic? How is this fight going to end? Comment down below your prediction. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to like the video. I appreciate it very much. It helps the channel grow. And I will see you in the next video.